I challenged the president when he did that. I told him, if you don't address the nation, says, how much you paid to sell out your brother.
People in the comment section were asking, like, if Maxwell is indeed a scammer, who has he scammed? Like,
I have assisted a lot of people who are inventors.
So yesterday we had an amazing live stream where so many people joined, and one of the person to join was Simba Chikanza or ZimEye himself, and he had his opinion to share. I'd like you guys to listen to it. Like I said, so many people join, and we will be able also to clip other parts and post them later. But if you want, you can go and rewatch. The entire stream is still available. Again, we will stream on Friday night, and if you have a contrary opinion to what he's saying, feel free to join in next time and have a discussion. But you can also let us know what you think about the same in the comment section. So we also plan maybe to have another live stream with Simba Chikanza himself, maybe next week or in the course of the weekend. We will be able to speak with him and agree on a certain date that we'll be able to announce on the channel. So in the meantime, I hope you watch this and let me know what you think about it. He also had a lot of advice when it comes to the youths that we have not yet placed in this video, but we will be able to maybe upload it later. But again, like I said, you can still be able to watch it on the entire live stream right now.
Folks, great to see you. My name is Simba Chikanza. I'm an investigative journalist who's worked on Maxwell over the last 4 years, and I've worked on Maxwell thoroughly. So I'm interested in the responses that I'm seeing people typing here, because folks, I'm also an African, just like all of you here, and it intrigues me, and it does interest me when people want to know the truth. Maxwell Chikumbutso's case is a classic scam that every African from Cape to Cairo needs to know. They need to know how it is such a scam could be pulled up, and they also need to connect with the victims of the scams. People who've lost money. This is not small money, folks, but not just these who've lost money, people who've lost lives. Because there are people who've died. It's interesting to see some people typing here great scientific terms, none of this, none of that. And it's great, right? But, let's get factual here, folks. If I say that I have invented something, I need to produce the product. In my work, I have assisted a lot of people who are inventors, who have got patents. One young man has got 4 patents. I did an interview of him on one day. These are patents that he secured so easily, right? For cleaning products. One day I just did an interview for him, and bang, a single interview, he's got sales all over. We're not against inventions. And I know some people, they will say you're against inventions or you're against Christianity. Okay. And yeah, but folks, I just want to say that if we're talking about Christianity, even on Christian basics, just Christian basics, if you study your Bible well, you know that Maxwell is a scammer, because even in the Bible, there's nothing like endless, like free energy in the Bible. If you believe the records, right, Elijah is said to have gone to heaven, to outer space, on a spacecraft, in a spacecraft that ran on combustible energy. It had a fire underneath. The wheels were fire, correct? If you read your Bible well. Jesus also went into heaven in a spacecraft that produced a cloud, correct? What is a cloud? That's smoke, correct? So isn't that combustion? So if you're just looking at biblical standards, it's nonsense. But how did I get into Maxwell? I got to investigate Maxwell when I was contacted by victims of Maxwell, and people had died. At least 2 people had died mysteriously. And I had evidence that was too clear that Maxwell is a dodgy man. But I could not proceed without evidence. So I didn't rush to publish until I interviewed him 3 years ago. I'm sorry to those who are seeing Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa, who's another scammer, by the way, the president of Zimbabwe, announcing Maxwell as an inventor, right? Just this year, 3 years ago. If you check on the ZimEye publication, you will see my interview, which ran over 1 hour 27 minutes with Maxwell Chikumbutso. If you just do convert that audio into text, I know some of you don't speak Shona, so you can get someone to translate the Shona. Put it into text, and then put it into a document. Analyze what Maxwell Chikumbutso says. You notice that Maxwell Chikumbutso, he himself, only with his own mouth, says that he hasn't invented anything. Even the so-called green power machine that he has received so far, over $100,000 that we know, we've got documents for, is fake. He actually says it with his own mouth. I never powered any 300 houses. That machine that you saw there, I borrowed a load bank at Masasa Park, right? And then I put this, I put that. It's so clear if you listen with an ear from the horse's mouth, not going anywhere else, just from the horse's mouth. But folks, let me just run through and just tell you quickly in 30 seconds. Maxwell Chikumbutso's name, Maxwell Chikumbutso is not even Maxwell.
Yeah.
So before you say he's inventor, he'll be killed by ask a person, who are you? What is your name? Why do you hide your name? And I'll tell you, my name is Simba Chikanza. I don't need to change my name. That is my name. If I committed a crime somewhere, why should I hide it? Let it be. Everyone has got a second chance, right? But he hides his name. His real name is Sangulani. And if you check in the court records, he is actually still out on bail right now for armed robberies. And the only product that has been proven in Zimbabwe, the only product that Maxwell has, if you like to follow real products, is an unlicensed firearm. Go and check the court records. A gun that doesn't have a license. So it's a gun that is still being used right now. So you ask yourself, why is it? How is it that the whole president did this? You need to check the history of Zimbabwe and check who is the president of Zimbabwe. How did he become the president of Zimbabwe? Just like Idi Amin of Uganda, right? And how is he sustaining his presidency? He's sustaining his presidency using who? Using armed robbers. And on the day that he presented Maxwell Chikumbutso, go and check what had happened the previous day. He had lost military support. His deputy was saluted. He received massive support the previous day while he was on annual leave. On that day, when he came out dressed in a clean suit, he was actually on annual leave. The country had just all of a sudden started supporting his deputy, who he has been persecuting, and he poisoned as well. So you need to understand these things. This is the reality, folks. I'm an investigator, and I would love to hear what people say. But if you want to dig into the Maxwell story, this is what it is. It is a scam. It's a scam also using the Bible. The pastor who you heard there, Farai Katsande, is someone I've known for over 30 years, since 1998. I knew him personally. Scammers, pure scammers, using the Bible to lie to Africans. And I'm sure the reason why he's doing this is so that he gets tithes and offerings for his church. Scamming people. But what shocks me is the level of no remorse, no conscience. It's shocking. If I had not investigated this, how would people have known? And let me also ask you, how many more scams like Maxwell Chikumbutso's are out there? Not just in Zimbabwe, but in other parts of Africa. So, and also those who want to, I know Africans liked when they see a white man talking with an American accent and they've traveled over to to Africa, and they declare, oh, you've tested, we've proven, this is free energy. You've listened to the voice of God, and so people will say, But that very same Foster Gamble has announced on his channel, on his website, that Maxwell Chikumbutso is delinquent. He himself. The only thing is he doesn't want to fully admit that Maxwell Chikumbutso is a scammer. So what they'll continue to say is that maybe one day he'll prove it. Maybe when you know this person, the only product that he has is an unlicensed firearm. Come on, folks. Let's not be fools. Let's protect our continent. Protect your community from nonsense. Don't share videos of a scammer, because Africans are so hungry. People, they don't have time to think. You're spreading videos of a scammer. So anyway, I'm going to end. I've talked too much. But I just got interested. I just saw the stream. And
Yeah, before you go, I know when you speak, many people feel like you're just going after Maxwell and you have a vendetta or something. Even like this guy saying, liar, liar, how much are you getting paid to sell out your brother? Then somebody saying that's politics or something. But I know for you know Maxwell a lot. Huh? Are you still around?
I'm around. I think it's breaking. Yeah. Oh yeah. So the question that says, can I continue? There's a question that says, how much you paid to sell out your brother?
Yeah.
Brother, how would I be? How would I be the brother of a scammer? A scammer? Come on. Someone who's an armed robber. Have you ever suffered an armed robbery yourself? Maybe you haven't. Maybe you live in a very comfortable life. And I can't answer you. I will answer those who want to know the truth. The truth is there's no product here. There are a lot of Africans who are, I've given my own money to help a lot of Africans. My own money. Sometimes I remember one time I gave one young man £600, and he developed something. We're there to help people. We're not there to crush people. But folks, there is no product here. Maxwell is a scammer. Let's work hard. Let's study. Yeah, and let's produce real stuff. Let's not be lazy. There's nothing like free energy. Things just don't fall from heaven and then all of a sudden it's there. Come on. That's a scam. But what's worse, folks, is that Maxwell is actually an armed robber. I've got that on authority. I come from where his office is. I grew up in that area in Bluffel Park. So if you check my interviews, you can even check me online. I am a Zimbabwean. I grew up in Harare. I don't know where you grew up, right? I grew up in that same area. And when Maxwell says that you get arrested if you test electricity, that's a lie. When he says that you can't fly a drone, when he told me that, I can't fly this drone, I'll get arrested, that's nonsense. Because even the president of Zimbabwe said that he's been supporting him, didn't he? Why would you get arrested? Listen to me. I am a leading investigator in Zimbabwe. Hear me, I'm an investigative journalist. I fly drones. I've flown drones even on the president's window. None of my drones have been shot down. Nonsense. I asked Maxwell for a drone because I do want to buy a drone. If I can get a drone that I can control, right, and I can fly forever, why not? Come on. Huh? If Maxwell has a helicopter, whatever it is, why doesn't he use it to go and ferry accident victims? There are a lot of accidents happening in Zimbabwe. Check today. Just use it to go and carry 3-4 accident victims and take them to the hospital. Utter nonsense.
We have this question. If you can hear me, somebody saying that what is the profit of the scam, Mr. ZimEye? It connects to, there's that video you are done with the pastor. You are asking him some questions a few days ago, I think a week ago.
Yes.
I did post some part of it, and people in the comment section were asking, like, if Maxwell is indeed a scammer, who has he scammed? Like, do you know?
There are a lot of people. So let me
Yeah.
tell you who has he scammed. There are a lot of people. So when you see on his video, every person that he says, there's a Swiss that he says Emmanuel. He
Yeah.
scammed Emmanuel, the Swiss, 24,000. So if you go and check on my video, you see the invoice there.
Yeah. Yeah.
24,000, right? He
Yeah.
scammed a South African 44,000 US. He also scammed another, which nationality is this? An American, another 44,000. Who else? Even his pastor says that he was also scammed 30,000. He also scammed, if we are to take the president of Zimbabwe's word as truth, he also
Yeah.
scammed the president of Zimbabwe 3 million. And the president of Zimbabwe, when I challenged him, hear me, people. I challenged the president when he did that. I told him, if you don't address the nation about this, I'm going to expose you in 24 hours. The president deleted his own Twitter posts. The president of Zimbabwe, go and check. The government posts were deleted when I challenged him. So he has scammed people. How much? 3 million, over 3 million,
US.
125 at least. But not just that. He hasn't scammed just his people. He also has the Murefu. There's a petrol station called Murefu fuel station, right?
Yeah.
His case is still live right now, where it was proven in the courts of Zimbabwe that he owns an unlicensed firearm.
Yeah, in
So
regards to that,
yeah,
in regards to that, there's this question where somebody is asking, where did he do the armed robbery that you're talking about?
where? You say where or how?
Where?
Oh, Harare, the capital city, Harare. It's called Murefu fuel station. It's one of those petrol fuel stations that where the armed robbery happened.
Oh, then O'Neill then is saying that you have to license a drone to fly it. I think it's meaning about the drone when you are talking about flying it.
Well, you know what? Even if the regulations are there, I fly my drones. If you want to see my footage,
So
go on the news network. I fly my drones, whether there are regulations or not. What Maxwell Chikumbutso is telling you is utter rubbish. I fly. The army knows that I fly. The civil aviation in Zimbabwe, they know that I fly. I've never had issues whatsoever. And the only time when one of the drones was caught in one of the buildings, my guys just went in there and they collected it. No problem. One of the government buildings. So Maxwell is just a scammer. Nonsense.
what? Let me read this comment first. Kamchan is saying that ZimEye is spitting hardcore facts. I think he agrees with you. Skamchan believes that what Maxwell is doing is just a scam.
You know, it's just like these people who will tell you, like these prophets. They'll tell you, oh, I'll prophesy for you, you'll make money, and then they just play magic on you, like play tricks, visual tricks. That's what Maxwell is doing. And Maxwell is officially a member of these prophetic churches that I have exposed before, including Farai Katsandes. So, yeah, don't follow scammers, folks. But if you believe in the Bible, even if you go by biblical standards, there is nothing like free energy in the Bible. If you believe that Elijah went to heaven in a spacecraft, that a chariot that had what? Fire underneath, which means it was combustible energy, right? So then if that is true, if that record, if you believe it is true, then it means even God himself doesn't use free energy. And then Jesus, right? At the Mount of, what was it? Mount of Olives, where he ascended to heaven, right? What does it say? The vessel that he flew up with, it produced a cloud. It had a cloud. So it was combustible. It was smoke. Just like these type of aircrafts that you see flying up into the sky there. So come on. Why do you believe such nonsense? Do you know? I'm going to need to go, folks. But it's great catching up with some... and I'm also interested, by the way, if there are any such discussions going on, feel free to invite me from time to time. I'll give you my email address and so but young people, listen to me, work hard. Follow like the Chinese people don't have time to follow free energy. They're busy producing, even at home. In China, cell phones are made at the home, like at the home unit. They produce cars. You know, if you go on Facebook, Maxwell didn't even need to buy that car. All he needed to do, if he had gone on Facebook Live, you would have seen the people who have assembled cars. Did you hear me? Who have assembled cars from scratch inside their garage. Just 90 days is enough. As long as you're diligent enough, you can actually build a whole car from scratch. There's nothing fascinating. Elon Musk is an African. He's a South African. There's nothing fancy about that. What is it, Tesla? Just open that thing. It's just a piece of metal. You can go to your village, as long as you just go and study how to smelt metal, right? You can assemble all that and do it right in the village. You can do it just going on Facebook Live. There's no need for scamming anyone. And after that, you can come here, and if you have something that's new, we'll advertise it. We'll help you. We've done it before. And so, do you know? Yeah. You know, I helped a certain Zimbabwean, right, at one time. He has got a wound treatment method, a method of treating wounds using sugar. Did you hear me? I spent my money. I spent 5 years promoting this Zimbabwean. Until, do you know what? He won a lot of awards. I helped to set up his company. And right now he's on his way to saving the British economy, a Zimbabwean, 3.2 billion a year. Just simple. Being in, studying, being following just basic concepts like what the Chinese are doing. We've got to learn to use our hands. If we don't use our hands, right? What will happen? Foreigners will get into Africa and they will steal, like what the Chinese are doing. Do you know the rocks? You know the granite, right? I don't know where you're from, right? But the granite that you folks go to pray, and you're praying for money to get a visa to go to Europe. Those rocks, right?
No,